Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear students, in the last period we have finished the poem Wind. Now we will start the chapter The Little Girl. Very interesting story, and it is about the misunderstanding between the parents and the boys and the girls, between sons and daughters and parents. So how the misunderstanding has been removed. So before the starting the chapter, you might have also some misunderstanding about your with your parents, great with father, mother, or sister, or maybe friend, or maybe with some other one. So it is not like that every time the problem is there. 90% we can feel, it is my personal opinion, that 90% the problem, when we go to the depth of the problem is very petty, very little, very easy, very simple, very short. So we should look into the matter and don't jump to the conclusion. That is the, we can say, that is the aim of the chapter. So dear students, listen carefully. Page number 32, I am reading. See this, paragraph number 1. To the little girl, he was a figure to be feared and avoided. Every morning before going to work, he came into her room and gave her a casual kiss, to which she responded with "Goodbye, father." And oh, there was a glad sense of relief when she heard the noise of the carriage growing faster and fainter down the long road. So dear students, generally what happens to your parents, to your father, generally you always becomes very much happy when you see father has come, and you become sad when father or parents goes away to the duty. But here is the different case. The little girl becomes happy when father goes. He takes a casual kiss and she said "Goodbye, father." She has developed a kind of fear with the father, and which kind of fear we didn't know. Next part of the paragraph. In the evening, when he came home, she stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall. "Bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet? Mother, go and see if my paper's out there, and bring my slippers." So the father comes, and all of a sudden he tells three things together: bring my tea, hasn't the paper come yet, mother, go and see if my papers are there, and bring my slippers. A kind of three work, as he has come very exhausted from the office. So all three things he has said all together, this added fuel to the fire, or this added very anger to the girl, and she become more angry. She said, "What is this?" So in medical terminology it is called OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. So there are many types of obsessive compulsive disorder: shouting, or washing the hands frequently, or sometimes checking frequently, even if you are not suffering from any disease. A kind of OCD symptoms, we can say. So here his father was also a little bit suffering from that OCD, or maybe he might have come from the office, not necessarily he is suffering from the OCD. I am telling you from the general information for you, that you should keep such kind of behavior whenever is exhibited by someone. It is we can say it is OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. Paragraph number 2, page number same 32. Kezia, mother would call to her, "If you are a good girl, you can come down and take off other boot." Slowly the girl would slip down the stair, more slowly still across the hall, and push open the drawing room door. By that time he had his spectacles on, looked at her over them in a way that was terrifying to the little girl. "Well, Kezia, hurry up and pull off these boots and take them outside. Have you been a good girl today?" I don't know, father." When father asks him take down the boot and take out the socks, she becomes more confused. She becomes more hesitated. You don't know? If you stutter like that, mother, will you take you to the doctor? Then father shouts, and he said, "Are you suffering from some disease, and we should take you to the doctor?" Paragraph number 3, page number 33. She never stuttered with other people, had quite given it up, but only with father, because then she was trying to so hard to say the words properly. Only with father she has a problem. She had stutter, or she was not able to talk the words that do not come when you have the fear, develop the fear with someone. So what's the matter? What are you looking so rich about, mother? I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of society. Here, Kezia, Carry my tea cup back to the table carefully. He was so big, his hands and his neck, especially his mouth, when he yawned. Thinking about him alone was like about a giant. So a little girl thinks about a father like a giant. She said his big hands and his yawning position. And she said that whenever I think about the father, he looks like a giant. Why? Because fathers are a lovely figure, lovely person, but this girl has developed a kind of fear. That is why her father to her father looks like a giant, because something is there in her mind. Next paragraph, paragraph number 4. On Sunday afternoon, uh, grandmother sent her down to the drawing room, have a nice talk with father and mother. But the little girl always found mother reading and father stretched out on the sofa, his handkerchief on his face, his feet on one bed and on the best cushion, sleeping soundly and snoring. So we can say that whenever grandmother says go and talk with the mother, mother was reading, she was comfortable with mother, but it is always position of the father. He stretched himself on the sofa and put the handkerchief on his face and his feet on the best cushion and sleeping and snoring, since he has come from the office and he was feeling very exhausted. Page number 34. She sat on a stool, gravely watched him until he woke and stretched and asked the time, then looked at her. Don't stare so, Kezia. You look like a little brown owl. One day when she was kept indoors with a cold, her grandmother told her that father's birthday was next week and suggested she should make him a pin cushion for a gift out of a beautiful piece of yellow silk. So in the next week there was a birthday, and what was the given suggestion to the Kezia? Kezia is the name of a girl who, what is the problem with the Kezia? Kezia is not comfortable with his father. She has developed a kind of fear, and because which she is not able to talk with him, but others it was okay. She was very good with other people, she was okay, but only she was having problem with the father. I am reading the next page 34, page number 34, fifth paragraph number. Laboriously with a double cotton the little girl stitched 3 sides, but what to fill it with? That was the question. The grandmother was out in the garden and she wandered into the mother's bedroom to look for the scraps. On the bed table she discovered a great many sheets of the fine paper, gathered them up, tore them into tiny pieces and stuffed her case, then sewed up the 4th side. That night there was a hue and cry in the house. Father's great speech for the Port Authority had been lost. Rooms were searched, servants questioned. Finally mother came into Kezia's room. Rooms were scary. So dear students, we can see what I have underlined. You can clearly understand that when she is already having the fear and she has lost the speech for the Port Authority that his father was going to made, it has been lost, so she become very much frightened. So mother came and she asked Kezia, I suppose you didn't see some papers on a table in your room? Oh yes, she said, I tore them up for my surprise. What? Screamed mother. Come straight down to the dining room this instant. And she was dragged down to where father was pacing to and fro, hands behind his back. Well, he said sharply. Mother explained. He stopped and stared at the child. Did you do that? No, she whispered. Mother, go up to her room and fetch down the damn thing. See that the child's put to bed this instant. So you can imagine how a already girl is having the fear, and she has torn the speech paper of her father by default, not knowingly, and mother drag her to the father. You can imagine the condition of a girl, how frightened is she, and she was not able to talk. So father asked one question, did you do that? She said yes, with a screaming, or with a, we can say, with a very horrified manner. Then father said to mother, go and bring that to overthink the bad, that all the things that she has to bring it to my notice. Page number 35, next paragraph 7. Crying too much to explain, she lay in the shadowed room watching the evening light make a sad little pattern on the floor. Then father came into the room with a ruler in his hand. I am going to beat you for this, he said. Oh, no, no, she screamed, hiding under the bedclothes. He pulled them inside. Sit up, he ordered, and hold out your hand. You must be taught once and for all not to touch what does not belong to you. But it was your birthday. Down came the ruler on her little pink palms. Then after that, as you know, the father was very strict. So he said, bring the ruler. And he said, I am going to beat you, my daughter, because you must know that you must get the punishment for whatever you are doing. She screamed, shouted, don't, no, no, no. Then she said, but it was for your birthday. We wishing to we have decided to give you the something surprise. So what comes next? Paragraph number 8. Hours later, when grandmother had wrapped her in a shawl and rocked her in the rocking chair, the child clung to the soft body. What did God make fathers for? She sobbed. Here is a clean hanky, darling. Blow your nose, go to sleep. Pet, you will forget all about it in the morning. I tried to explain to father, but he was too upset to listen tonight. But the child never forgot. Next time she saw him, she quickly put the both hands behind her and a red color flew into her cheeks. As you know, after that he hit him hard, and grandmother, she was weeping, she was sobbing, she felt very bad, and she said, what did the God makes father for? What did the God makes father for? This is something very dangerous question put by the girl, because she was hit hard already. She has been she has been frightened from her father. So we can say that her father has not done a good thing to her, and grandmother says, please go to sleep, and next morning you will forget all these things, don't worry. But child could never forget, and it has a very deep impact on his mind. So whenever next time she saw the father, she was developing a fear, though she could not express, she not excuse me, though she could not say clearly, but it was clearly seen on her cheek. Her cheek became red. Paragraph 9. The McDonalds lived next door. They had 5 children. Looking through a gap in the fence, the little girl saw them playing tag in the evening. The father with the baby Mao on his shoulders. 2 little girls hanging on his coat pocket ran round the flower bed, shaking with laughter. Once she saw the boys turn the hose on him, and he tried to catch them, laughing all the time. Then it was she decided there were different sorts of father. Suddenly one day mother became ill, and she and grandmother went to hospital. So here we can say the girl was watching to their neighbor, namely McDonald. They were 5 children. They were a very happy family. McDonald father was having 2 children in his arms and Mew, and they were very happily enjoying the relationship with each other. So this little girl Kezia was seeing all this thing, and she has been disturbed to see how the fathers really, how good McDonald is as a father, and how he treats the children, his own children, but why not his father? So she could not get the answer of this question. So the little girl was left alone in the what happened. The one day mother became ill, and she and grandmother went to the hospital. How the things happened that mother became ill, and grandmother and mother went to the hospital, and girl Kezia remained alone. The little girl was left alone in the house with Alice, the cook. That was all right in the daytime, but while Alice was putting her to bed, she grew suddenly afraid. What will I do if I have a nightmare? She asked. I often have a nightmares, and that granny takes me into her bed and can't stand the dark at all. gets whispery. You just go to sleep, child, said Alice, pulling off your socks, and don't you scream and wake your poor pa. But the same old nightmare came, the butcher with a knife and a rope, who came nearer and nearer, smiling that dreadful smile, while she could not move, could only stand still, crying out, Grandma, Grandma. She woke shivering to see uh, the father beside her bed, a candle in his hand. So, what's the matter? He said. Now you can say that she was having the Kezia was having always nightmare that a butcher with a knife with a rope coming nearer to her, and she will shout and scream, Grandma, Grandma. That was her usual nightmare that she used to see. Now here only two persons are there in the house. Where did mother and grandmother go? They went to hospital. Why did they go to hospital? Because mother became ill. Now Alice, who is Alice? She is a cook. She said that don't be frightened, just you go to sleep and don't shout when your father comes, and don't disturb his sleep. Okay, just took off your socks and go to the sleep and don't scream. But the same thing happened. As she went to the sleep, the same nightmare came, and she began to shout, she began to cry. And to her great surprise, when she woke shivering to see father beside her bed, a candle in his hand. What's the matter? He said. Paragraph number 11. Oh, butcher, a knife. I want Granny. He blew out the candle, bent down and caught up the child in his arms, carrying her along the passage to the big bedroom. A newspaper was on the bed. He put away the paper, then carefully tucked up the child. He lay down beside her, half asleep still with her butcher's smile all about her it seemed. She crept close to him, snuggled her head under his arm, held tightly to his shirt. Then the dark did not matter. She lay still. Here you can see that as she was frightened, and already she was having two fears are there. One fear already she is having from the father, second fear from the nightmare, but this time neither grandmother nor mother or anyone is present in the room except her father. So she woke up with the screaming and shouting, I want grandma and my grandma, granny, and butcher is coming near. So father is having candle in his hand, and he asked, what's the matter, my dear child? So she was half asleep. She was feeling drowsy, and father said, don't worry. He took to that child, and with love and warmth, he took carefully tucked up the child and lay down beside her, and he lay down beside her, and he was smiling, and he crept very close to him, and we can say that he moved into a warm and comfortable position. To that was her fear was going away, and she hold tightly to his shirt. Then the dark did not matter. She says, here, rub your feet against my legs and get them warm, said father. What did father say to Kezia? Kezia, rub your feet against my legs and get them warm. Rub your legs to my feet and get them warm. Father said, now see the situation of Kezia. Already the fear has gone, and her nightmare, to which the protection was given by the father to whom she was having the fear, but that fear has gone to now, and alhamdulillah she now is we can say very carefully, with a very loving, and he cuddled her, he with a caressing hand, he tried to remove all her fear, and said that please rub your feet against my leg so that you will get warm and your fear will go away. Last paragraph. Tired out. He slept before the little girl. A funny feeling came over her. Poor father, not so big after all, and with no one to look after him. He was harder than grandmother, but it was a nice hardness. And even day he had to work, and he was too tired to be a Mr. MacDonald. She had torn up all his beautiful writings. She stared suddenly and sighed. What's the matter? Asked her father. Another dream. Oh, said the little girl, my head's on your heart. I can hear it going. what a big heart you have got, father dear. So we can say that after that her fear has totally gone. She slept in the arm of her father very beautifully, and the next day when after some time when she wake up, at that time she was looking at the father and she understood that her father is a very good person. The only thing that he was not playing like Mr. McDonald, since he was exhausted, tired, that that for that person for that reason he was not able to play with Kezia. But it doesn't mean that he was not loving to her, to his children. He was loving equally like Mr. McDonald, or something more than that, because he has protected from the nightmare, from the fear, from the terrific fear of that nightmare to Kezia. And now she has become very friendly with the touch of the father. And when she woke up again and she father asked what's the matter, she said, my dear father, I had a dream, but this time the dream is very positive. So father asked what did she see. The Kezia said, father, I had a dream. And said the little girl, my head is on your heart. What is the dream? My head's on your heart, I can hear it going. What a big heart you have got, father. She said, my dear father, I put my head near your heart and it is pumping, it is going. And oh, my God, you got such a big heart. Alhamdulillah, you got such a big heart, my dear father. So we can say that she was having the psychological fear that was totally removed. And for whom she was having the fear, that fear was nothing but that was caused by the misunderstanding towards the father. And she was blaming to the fathers in the beginning of the chapter. She was scared, she was having the fear for father, but in the last the same father has protected her. The same father has given the cuddling, the caring hand to Kezia when no one was there. He was very cautious and he was very caring. So it removed all the doubts and all the we can say the misunderstanding created by Kezia's mind. Now she understood that her father is more good than Mr. McDonald. The only thing that he could not play, since he comes from the office and since he is exhausted, so he is not able to play with her, but he was equally loving to her, his daughter. So we can say that here the very beautiful chapter, and the girl Kezia has removed totally her feelings. And definitely we learn from this chapter that if you have also misunderstanding from anyone, be it friend, be it father, mother, sibling, or anyone else, first try to introspect, diagnose the problem. When you go to the depth or diagnose the problem, you will find it that the 80-90% reasons are very petty. Very petty, I mean very small, but our ego comes in between. And sometimes it is not like that every time the reason is small. Sometimes reasons are big, important. So at that time you address this issue when you are very with a cool mind. But when the reason is very simple, petty, at that time you remove the misunderstanding and you become friend with him, because life is too short to blame others, to develop the fear. This is my personal opinion. So for that reason you should always not become the victim of the misunderstanding. So here we end the chapter, we end the session. Write down the question and answer, send it on my personal number, and feel free if you have any query or doubt on my personal WhatsApp number. Jazakallah.